Modern life delegates our most basic human responsibilities to massive, distant bureaucracies. When people fall through the cracks, we expect state institutions to catch them. But imagine a structure engineered differently, a social architecture built from the ground up, designed so those cracks never form in the first place. The foundational blueprint for this model is the Quran. It establishes broad, overarching directives, pairing the worship of God with the command to honor one's parents. To see how those broad directives translate into daily action, we look to Imam Al-Bukhari. While he is famous for his vast legal compilations, he also compiled Adab Al-Mufrad, a highly granular instruction manual for human etiquette. The table of contents maps out a specific social architecture, moving methodically through every layer of human interaction. The architecture builds society radially. Instead of a top-down mandate, it starts with the individual at the center. By rejecting top-down state building, the system engineers resilience from the inside out. It anchors every person to their most inescapable human bonds. The absolute nucleus of this structure is the parent-child bond. The first 24 chapters of the manual dictate the rules for this relationship. This obligation is not conditional on good behavior. Dutifulness and kindness are strictly demanded, even if the parents are unjust in their treatment. Chapter 13 requires the same level of devotion and kindness, even if the parent is non-Muslim. From there, the safety net expands to the second layer, the bloodline. Chapters 25 through 40 map out the obligations owed to the extended family. These rules carry tangible stakes. Chapter 28 links maintaining family ties directly to worldly outcomes, noting it will prolong a person's life and increase their provision. Firm believers are strictly required to maintain these familial ties, even when relatives actively attempt to sever the connection. The text explicitly instructs the believer to bridge the gap, giving gifts and forcing connections with relatives who are hostile toward them. By forcing people to repair broken links within their own families, the system creates an internal shock absorber long before anyone requires outside intervention. Once the bloodline is secure, the framework expands from shared blood to shared geography. Chapters 55 through 70 introduce strict obligations owed to neighbors. A sharp negative constraint is placed on the individual. It is a documented moral failure for a person to sate their own hunger while their neighbor goes hungry. Chapter 62 offers a practical solution for poverty. It explicitly instructs the individual to add extra water to their broth, ensuring there is enough volume to share next door. This neighborly duty ignores religious tribalism. Chapter 70 mandates kindness and provision toward the Jewish neighbor. The final outward circle tests the limit of the system. It focuses on the orphan, a person who lacks both blood ties and a local safety net. The instructions demand that the believer assume the role of a merciful father to the child and grounding financial support in genuine kinship. These outward radiating rules transform passive observation directly into physical action. The individual is forced to actively hunt for vulnerabilities in their community. When we zoom out, we can observe what happens when an entire society simultaneously executes this blueprint. Millions of individual radii of care crash into one another. The result is a system of massive, overlapping redundancies. This localized peer-to-peer web operates exactly where distant, generalized bureaucratic welfare policies usually fail. Its strength relies entirely on micro-interactions. Someone waters down their soup or forgives a difficult cousin. An unbreakable society is woven by individuals choosing acts of radical, everyday kindness right outside their own front doors.